G'day, and welcome back to rebuilding my first Minecraft world, where so far I've completed stage 1 of Spawn City, the treetops, lava falls, the underwater bunker, the mines, the snow town, the floating islands, run round, the river cabins, the beginning of the end desert, and the fix up a village project. And today we'll be doing this in-between area that connects the beginning of the end and the farm. And today I'll be starting off with the train station. Now right over here you have the city's train station, which will get you to the other further areas of the world. However, to get to that train station there is no path, and you quite literally have to traverse through a forest to get there, and it's not a good thing. And to get in you have to break a fence. Couldn't put a fence gate apparently. And you have a whole bunch of villagers in here which are supposed to be, I don't know, maybe workers or something. I don't know. But hey, this guy sells cookies. That's a bonus. Anyway, so you come through here. And here's the train station. Oh, okay. So it's not called Spawn City. It's called Doggy. Okay. That's essentially supposed to be like my dog variant of Tokyo. But I didn't actually realize I called this city Doggyo. I don't know if I actually changed it because it does sound a bit weird. I think I was inspired by CoStar's train station, except I used a different block palette. Something more modern. So, let's ride. Whoops. Ah! No! Okay, now we ride.
And we get a lovely view of the desert and all the surrounding swamp ocean. I'm not really sure how this place works, but the swamp is quite large with these odd patches of ocean. Does trains still spawn like this? Yeah, my render distance isn't that high, but you still do get a very interesting view.
Where's the cart? Let's try a take 2. No! Alright, let's go. Hey, yeah, it's not working out. Oh, no, don't, no. Did this ever work? Because I'm not sure at this point. Like, have they changed those minecarts or something? Because I swear it was not this bad before. And, well, we're here. That sucked. Actually, these train stations aren't too bad. Like, you actually have some plants, item frames, little extra area. It's not too bad. Although the outside could use some work. Now, the train station actually takes you out to the farm area. But I'm not going to be getting into that today. And I'll just be focusing on actually building both railway stations. Now, is this going to be better on the way back, or is it just going to suck? No, it's just going to suck. Yeah, I swear they didn't bounce off like that. I wonder why it changed. Well, let's rebuild. Now, I will still build it here, but I'll remember to put in a path. So I use predominantly stone and make it a nice grand small train station. Rails and lag. Putting in the path. Well, that's the first train station done. So you have a little outdoor sitting area. And then over here you have a few shops. Get some quick snacks before you move on. And here is the platform. The rest to be built later. Now here's the current shot of the outside. I do want to still change it up a bit, but I'll figure that out later. Time for the next station. This place has a lot of caves. Let's explore. Okay, so this one just goes straight to the mountain, but it goes down a lot. Oh, dead end. Okay, that's pretty cool. So it just goes to the surface. Ooh, cool ravine. Yeah, no, I can't explore any more of this cave. I actually have to do something. This thing is huge. Oh, I feel like I screwed up by shaving away too much for the mountain. Whoops. Alright, that's it. I'm sick of the nighttime. Done. Yeah. I don't like it. I really don't. Yeah, not liking it so much. Sort of better, but it just blends in too much. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. Yeah, no, just no. Time to work on something else. I mean, the cave is sort of interesting, but kind of messy. Now, unfortunately, because furnace minecarts suck, I'm going to have to use some powered rails. Now, they will kill the vibe of an old-timey train station, but I kind of also want this place to be somewhat functional. But the compromise is I'll have them every so often rather than every single rail. Now to do the track, but I'm going to change it up a little bit and have the descent over here. Alright, I don't like that one. That looks weird. But that one's got potential. Alright, I like that one. Now, I was trying with a 3 blocks gap, but I prefer the 2 blocks gap. So we've had to do a little bit of reconfiguring, but that's okay. And done. This thing is epic. It actually does look like a real railroad. That is tough to say, but it's still really cool. Waffle light, or that light. I don't really like any of them. It doesn't look too bad when going through it. I don't know if it looks good from here. Yeah, I think that's worse. Alright, maybe it's not too bad. It kind of does look like something that should be on a train line. Okay, so I built a more gradual slope. Now let's see if it works. Okay, it works. Without cyan grey clay or with cyan grey clay? I'm thinking with. So there was a tree here, so I'm going to build one here. And I'm going to try and make it look like one of those epic fig trees. Close enough. I ended up covering up the caves. They were too messy. So over here you have the farm train station. So you come up here to the train station where you have the ticket selling villager who is refusing to talk to me as usual. Though he also sells cookies, if you can get him to talk to you. Then over here is the platform with a lot of seating, which is very nice. And you even have some extra seating over here. So yeah, that's the farm train station. And you have the city station over here. I also made the roof a bit more interesting up here. So now with both train stations done, let's ride. Bit slow at the start, and then we're off. Bit of lag too. You get to see part of the beginning of the end desert. And unfortunately, if I turn up my render distance anymore, well, even more lag, but you do get a very nice view of the swamp. I'll turn all of it into glowing trees because that is iconic. And it's also what I did before. Very nice views. And now we're at the farm. Alright, so I was going to make a system where it sends the cart back, but that's not going to happen. Next project. Now you can see there is sort of like a passageway to get to the farm, because there's bridges, but no actual path. So that is exactly what I'm going to be installing. A proper horse highway. Starting with the bridges. So the bridge is something I actually saw in Co's World, and then decided to do my own. And so yeah, there it is, crossing the river. Plus I also built another one over here too. And what I love about this project is it's one of those that I can pinpoint exactly where I got the inspiration from. Yep, I'm pretty sure this is from episode 5 of Co's World. And well, it was. And then there are other projects like this where I'm like, yeah, look, it looks like I got this from somewhere, but I have absolutely no recollection of where. See, the interesting thing is I did actually flatten this area, but just didn't bother installing a path. So let's build one. Well, this place has a lot of caves. Shame if someone were to explore them instead of doing any work. Now let's go caving. What? And this one goes nowhere. Alright, so this one was just a water pool. This one is a dead end. Ooh. Nice. It's like a perfect little bowl for the water. That's cute. Oh, and it goes down to a mine shaft. Woo! Diamond! It's in the name. More diamond. Well, that's kind of cool. Ooh, 2 chests. Suppose. Okay. Oh, well, I guess there's gold. Honestly, this place looks like someone had too much fun with TNT. Alright, no, I actually got to do some work. This place is giant. Alright, I'm just going to quickly mark a path for the road. Now for the bridge. Progress report. It still needs work. I don't know if I like that one or that one, but I think that one kind of strangely works. Not sure about that one though. It's not too bad, but I'll leave it for a while before I judge it, because often I hate stuff when it's freshly built. No, I don't know why. Alright, so I feel like there's too many logs, so that's why I don't like it. But I'll actually start building the other bridge and experiment with something different before I touch this one. So I moved the bridge a bit more to the right, and I'll connect it up to the lower section, or actually probably even terraform it a bit, because this is a very awkward entrance. Terraforming, yay! Yeah, I'm not too sure the spruce wood is actually better. Or maybe it's the oak here. Alright, fence gates, no. Logs like that? Yes. Nether brick just seems out of place. Why am I struggling so hard to build a bridge? Yeah, you can't really see that bottom bit too well. I mean, like, it's better. It just feels like there's not enough contrast. I'm gonna go work on something else now. And let's fix this river. Is that another cave? Oh, okay. Oh, wow, okay. Oh, okay, so I have explored it. Well, some of it. I got the path in. Now it needs some form of street light. But see, because it's an awkward in-between area, the city doesn't own it, the farm doesn't own it. So the street lights, if you can even call them that, will be the ultra most basic, most cheapest ones you could possibly get. And there'll be a lot of space in between them. Nice. And now to build this big rug. So I actually think it was the second edition of this, which is a glowstone mat used to light up a large area, but made a little better. And you know what? It actually does look kind of cool, though it's not super effective at lighting. But the problem is it takes up a lot of space, so it'd be blocking the path. But instead of having it horizontal, I want to try have it vertical, and then split up the squares, and maybe make them circular. So then it is some form of highway art. And I'll also turn this into some form of monument. I got stuff to do. Why am I caving? Like, there's literally no point to me being down here. And yet this is where I am. Ooh. Absolutely fascinating, isn't it? Suppose that makes a bit more sense. Yes! Very nice. This place is just absolutely crazy. I mean, it's not too bad. I don't know. Why am I so picky? Like, what is the problem with this? Why do I not like it? Is it just it blends in too much? Alright, I know it's off, but I also don't know if I really like it. So I might have to actually build it and potentially move it a bit further from the road. So I moved it further back and I made it a bit smaller. And it's actually not too bad. Although I admit having that as 2 blocks wide, I don't know why I don't like it, but I'll keep it for now. So this one translated a bit weirdly into circle. So I decided to make it even weirder and make it come out a bit here. This one also didn't translate very well, so I'm going to try a different design. But hey, it kind of looks like a flamingo over there. Alright, this is just not working. Not as good as the original, but not too bad. Now to fill this cave in. Hey, here's a cave I didn't explore. I'm probably going to regret this. Yep. Is this a dead end? Yep. Alright, back to work. It's alright. Alright, I'm going to move this one back. This is a bit intense. Actually, that looks kind of interesting at the top. Alright, like this or like that? I think like this. Nice. So I decided not to go for a checker pattern, except now it looks like a McDonald's Easter egg. Alright, this one looks cool. Interesting. Not really liking it. Yeah, that's better. I'm going to swap these two and move that one back a bit. That's better. I also built that sword and turned it into a monument, dedicated to the ones that built the road in the wilds. It was a bit of an interesting build, but you know, it actually does look really cool. It reminds me of that time when Zuko was riding through the Earth Kingdom. Absolutely epic. Next project. So you know that really cool ancient monument Stonehenge? Well, I built it in Minecraft. And I also built it to look like it was still intact. And then I added a beacon because like that's cool. It also looks cool at night. Now I do want to rebuild the place, except it's a little basic. So I think I'm going to build it on a bit of a hill and have the stones acting as different levels, with the beacon right at the top. Honestly, to walk through it, it's actually kind of cool. It has vibes. So yeah, let's build. Alright, now to fix the hill. Building a hill is time consuming. For texturing. Bacon! Yay! Alright, that does actually look a bit weird. That's a bit better. Nice. And grass. Iron for details. Or diamond. Although diamond's a bit probably too eccentric. And that's Stonehenge on a hill done. It's actually pretty cool. Definitely looks like some form of ancient monument. So you can go up and get boosted by the beacon. Woo! And it looks really cool at night. Definitely an ancient monument feel. This place also looks pretty cool too. You know, I never actually explored this cave. And that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. And this one? That's more like it. Oh. Dead end? Seriously? But that one looked like the most promising. Okay, what's down here? Ooh. Lots of cave apparently. Whoa. Alright, that's enough for now. I gotta work. It's contrast, but do I like it? Next project. Etho's River. So I watched an episode of Etho's Let's Play, which I believe was actually the first Etho episode that I had ever watched. And I noticed he had a really cool looking river in his cave. Now I wasn't going to build it in a cave, but I was definitely going to try and build it. However, my noob self wasn't very good at building things. So I planted some trees near some flowing water and put in a bridge. That's it. Now this place sucks. The trees are way too close together. They're too streamlined to where it doesn't look like proper trees. The big ones don't look too bad, but the rest are terrible. Also, having a 3-block wide river is way too thin, but it sort of does look kind of cool. But it looks horrendous from here. So then over here we have this little wolf den, which is actually a converted cave because it was so small that I wasn't actually scared of going into it. So I decided to turn it into a little wolf den out of endstone. Because I don't think I'd use endstone, so I wanted to actually try do something with it. So I did. So to fix this terrible build, I will be widening the river and making it look like it comes from somewhere other than just this awkward 3 sources of water. Plus I'll also make a bigger bridge. And make the trees all big trees or custom trees. And definitely have less trees. Like I know it's a big clump of trees, but it's really easy to miss. So let's build. Making the river. Looking good. Now for the water. Now for the bridge. Yeah, I don't really like that. I don't really like that either. That's not too bad. I changed the edges to spruce as well, but that's actually looking pretty good. Now to put the trees in. So I'll just grow big trees and then buff up the base. Oh, it looks really cute. Mushrooms. Waffle lights. Time for the cave. I will still build it out of endstone, even if it's a bit weird. You know, it actually doesn't look too bad with endstone. So imagine this is like the road ranger's cottage, so he'll just like take care of the path here, and this is the little place he lives, where he's got his wolf. Range Rover. The trees need to be fluffed up a little bit more, but it's getting there. Also, the good thing about using wool in trees is that you can't see directly through them, which looks really odd. So is this just legitimately a bunch of little trees put together to form a big tree? Okay, I think this place might be done. Just come along and stroll over the bridge to nowhere, but that's okay, you can look at the river. Next project. So these are the crying wolves. So I found this picture on the internet and I thought it was really cool and I wanted to build it myself. I saw this place which had an absolutely perfect mountain, but it also had this huge annoying pool of water. Now I really wanted to build the sculpture, except there really wasn't any other good places to build it. So then I painstakingly block by block blocked it off. And then I constructed the wolves. Now the original picture used both cobblestone and mossy cobblestone, but as a noob I'm like, well, why would you use 2 blocks when you can just use 1? So yeah, the whole thing is mossy cobblestone. And now I do actually understand why it is important to use more than 1 block in a build. So then it's not boring. So after I finished the wolves, I wanted to have something in the mountain. Except I was too scared to actually tunnel into the mountain just in case there was a cave. So I compromised and put a wall of black wool, just suggesting that there's more there without me needing to dig into it. However, after learning the see through the world glowstone trick from Etho and seeing that there was no cave here, I actually built something in the mountain. Now I'm pretty sure my noob self did actually want to build a survival base here, but this is as far as she got. So in the new version, I'm going to build a room, but I'm going to make it look more reminiscent of an ancient monument. And then for stage 2, actually have the survival base added onto it. So let's build. You know, it's actually a really cool area. Now to fill this in, but with slash fill. So I'll be using the same blocks as before, but mixing in some cobblestone, gravel, and maybe some stone brick. So it says moss stone at the top and mossy cobblestone at the bottom. So which one is actually correct? So I'm going to center it this time rather than just digging into this bit of the mountain. And I also widen the river so it's more in the center. Plus I also put the wolves on a platform this time. Now I like it, but I think it needs to be moved back by a few blocks. Maybe another 2 blocks. No, oh, it's off by a block. Alright, so when the wolves cry, it can then form into these pools of water connected to the river. That makes a lot more sense than whatever this atrocity is. Experimenting with a path. So 1 block between or 2? Potentially 2, because otherwise 1's a bit squishy. And now for the ancient room. Okay, this is really bad. It's gonna be difficult to cover up, but in here it is really nice. So I just have a wall over here and not extra rooms, but it still looks really cool. So I want this to be like the wolves' sleeping quarters, so they would all have their own little rooms, but everything's decayed except the stone walls and floor. Now I like that the stone slabs are a different colour, I just feel like they might be a bit too bright. I don't like the stone brick either, it blends in too much. The cobblestone's too bubbly. And this is just too clean. This might work though. Alright, I'm going to have a lot of work to do to make this place look natural, not that someone didn't calculate before building. Nah, close enough. Now to install the leaves. This is the ancient monument of the crying wolves. So you walk in the little hollow and enter an ancient room. Now it is quite overgrown, but that's because it's really old and no one's currently living here. So imagine there'd be like a town of people here and they'd have an ocelot problem because ocelots kill chickens, so that kind of sucks. So to combat that, they would have wolves. And this is the place the wolves would stay. So you'd have these little wolf rooms which are overgrown at the moment, but they would have had bedding and they would have been really nice. You got some places for the wolves to drink all around. Then you'd have this sort of table where they would come and feed all the wolves. I really like this place. I love its ambience. Very, very nice. And that's the crying wolves done. And then for stage 2, I'll transform it into a survival base because I could just imagine an explorer coming here and then deciding to live here because, well, no one else does. It's free real estate. And it'll be repurposed into a survival base instead of a rotting wolf den. Alright, you know what? That's it. I'm just going to keep these bridges. They're fine. Story time. This is the in-between road, built to connect two areas together. It's not very well lit, nor very good, yet somehow they had the money for highway art. Over here is an ancient monument, and if you go close enough, you can still get a boost of its power. Though it's quite annoying to get up to. There's even a monument to the people who built the road, though no one takes care of it and it's kinda overgrown. Then over here you have the gorgeous river, where the road ranger lives, with his dog, Range Rover. And then the train stations were built as a safer alternative to riding through the wilderness. And then the train station and the path lead to one very important place, to be built later. There used to be a jungle city in this area, but they had a massive ocelot problem. So to combat that, they brought in wolves. And then when the ocelots became too numerous, they would push this button and the wolves would cry to signify that the hunt was on. And then after that, the place would be free of ocelots for another season. Now the village is long gone, but the wolf statues still remain. And through here is where the wolves would stay. And this was their sleeping quarters, though the beds have rotted away. Alright, story time over. Now for the map. Nice. Well, that's the episode. Bye bye. Next time on rebuilding my first Minecraft world. What I didn't get to include in this episode, my first attempt at a floating island, and as much of this farm area as I can. This video brought to you by these memes.